Namjoon was looking at his wrist, checking the time. I'm getting late, Namjoon whispered to himself, looking out of the car. It was raining heavily, so he could not complain to the driver either. It is raining heavily, sir, so I cannot drive at high speed. Namjoon nodded, picking up a book from the side. He was reading a new novel from the last week, whenever he was getting time in between his schedule. Being the president of the company was not easy, that to one of the most successful corporations in Seoul. Today too, he is heading to the funeral of one of their business partners. Yoongi sent him here as there should be someone from the Kim family to show the condolences to the family. After almost 20 more minutes, Namjoon was finally there. He kept the book aside after picking a bookmark and just adjusted his black, perfectly ironed suit. As soon as Namjoon opened the door, there were guards holding an umbrella for him, escorting him inside of the mansion. Funeral was held in a Kim mansion itself. After reaching inside, Namjoon met some of the close relatives of Mr. and Mrs. Kim. However, the only close family they had, the stepbrother of Mr. Kim, Mr. Lee and their family. Namjoon smiled bitterly when he saw some of their business partners talking about business deals there instead. However, he himself was not close to the family. He just came here due to their business ties. But still it looked inappropriate for him to talk about such matters at this time. It was almost over. That's when Namjoon saw the little kid there, crying over his parents' death, which made his heart sink into the deep sorrow for the young kid. After asking from a guard, he got to know that his name is Kim Taehyung, the only son of Mr. and Mrs. Kim. Namjoon thought to share some words with the kid, but he was out of time, so he thought to just go back. However, the heavy rain stopped him as driver said that he won't be able to drive. Namjoon was sitting on the chair, waiting for the rain to slow down, but in every some seconds, his focus was shifting on the kid who was sitting on the stairs silently. Namjoon looked around himself. There were not much people outside, so he hesitantly moved towards the kid. Namjoon sat next to the kid, who first didn't seem to notice his presence, but soon he did. The kid scooted away a bit. It's okay, if you don't want me to sit down next to you, then I will go. Namjoon pretended to get up, but a small no from the kid made him take his place back again. You must be missing your parents a lot. Taehyung nodded, sobbing silently. Why did they left me? Taehyung asked from Namjoon, which made him go completely blank. He didn't know what to answer or how to even console the little kid in front of him. That too when he doesn't know him at all. But probably it was one of those times when even strangers' words can make you hope for something good in the life. They only had life till then. They became angels. Then why didn't they take me? Asked Taehyung while wiping his nose with his sleeves. Cause you have a long life ahead. They want you to be as successful as them. They want you to be a good person. They are always watching you from far away. Really? Yup. And if you will cry like this, then they will be so sad. Look, they are even crying. That's why it is raining so heavily. Taehyung looked amused from a new piece of information. But I miss them. I want my Oma and Oppa. I don't like Uncle Nee. Why? I understand you don't have habit of living with him. That's why you must be feeling like that. Taehyung shook his head, but before he could say anything, Mr. Lee, his step-uncle, was there. Mr. Namjoon, why are you sitting here? Your clothes will get ruined. Namjoon looked at Taehyung and just shook his head. It's okay, Mr. Lee. I was just talking to Taehyung, such a sweet kid. Yoongi, make sure that the new notice gets circulated today itself. I will leave for a meeting. Yoongi nodded while adjusting his specs, continuously signing the documents. Jin took some sips from the glass of water and wore his blazer, adjusting his watch. Coming soon. Jin hurried out of his room, his PA following him. Jin took a seat in the car and driver was instructed to move to Lee and Lee Company, which used to be Kim Industries till some weeks ago. It is the first time he is moving to Kim Industries after the death of Mr. and Mrs. Kim. It was all clear that how all the wealth got captured by stepbrother of Mr. Kim, but all their shares are business gone. So he was just hoping that he will be able to have a good time with Lee's as well. So we are here. Jin came out of his bubble when his PA informed him that they are already there. Jin nodded and hopped outside. With some guards following him, Jin was escorted inside. Sir, meeting room is there. Jin nodded and soon he was face to face with the new CEO. Hello, Mr. Kim Seokjin. Seokjin greeted him back. It is great to have a face-to-face time with you. We really hope for better time with our business and leading a new partnership in the business. For now, I am here to make sure that our past collaboration will work without any barrier, and about working together in future, then that totally depends on your work ethics and our need. Jin gave a formal reply with a poker yet classy face. For more than good 30 minutes, there was some mutual conversation about the implementation of past contracts between the companies. Thanks for your time, Mr. Lee. Hope for better relations between our companies. Jin stood up to take a leave, and so did Mr. Lee. Sure, Mr. Kim. Jin was in the premises of the building. That's when a kid ran up to him, getting fall on his butt, crying hardly. Jin got scared for a second, so he instantly ran to the kid to check if he is hurt somewhere. Hey, are you fine? Jin helped the kid to get up and dust his clothes. Oh, you? Jin looked at the kid, and he looked very familiar to him at the very first meet. I'm sorry, Hyung. Around 4 years old boy with an almond eyes with some tears in them apologized from Jin. It's okay, are you fine? Jin got taken back for a second when someone harshly pulled the kid backward, terribly shaking the body of the kid. Can't you be just like other kids? First of all, you are prohibited to come here, and then you are causing trouble to the people here. Your uncle will fire me as well if he got to know about this. Jin saw how the kid got complete silent with a stiff body and trembling lips with eyes threatening to cry anytime. Hey, why are you scolding him? He is just a kid, said Jin with a cold look, approaching towards Taehyung. Sir, I am so sorry, but it is what I am instructed about. I can't do anything about that. I will lose my job as well because of him. The man cleared his point, which made Jin wonder about the situation of the kid. Where are his parents? Is he son of some employee or something? Asked Jin, still trying to remember why the kid looked familiar to him. He is the son of Mr. Kim. It was then it finally hit to Jin. Maybe he saw this kid with Mr. and Mrs. Kim in any meeting probably. Then how in the hell are you behaving with him like this? He is the future hero of the company. Jin's blood boiled at the sudden realization. It was how the poor boy was getting treated after his parents' death. Sir, please, I am strictly instructed to not to let him come here. He was just crying from morning, so I had to take him here. I have no other option rather than following their orders, sir. The man pleaded in front of Jin to not to make the scene there, fearing about losing his job. If they will fire you, then I will hire you, so just shut up. Jin yelled but stopped when he listened the kid next to him sobbing. Hey, Jin kneeled down saying sorry for yelling there. At first, the kid got scared because of sudden touch, but then what surprised Jin was the unexpected hug from the kid. Small sobbing sounds with tears staining his shirt made his heart confident about not leaving the kid into this condition. After patting his head for some minutes, Jin finally wiped his tears, taking him up into his arms. Let's go. Jin entered in the premises, again making everyone stare at him, with small whispers echoing in the area. I need to meet Mr. Lee right now. Jin was outside of the office of Lee, informing his PA. Soon Jin was permitted to go inside the office. Come, Mr. The expression of the man's face completely changed when he saw Taehyung in Jin's arms. Taehyung, my kid, what are you doing with Mr. Kim? The man tried to act like a loving uncle he was pretending from days, but the fakeness on his face and his eyes was completely visible to Jin. For how long you will continue with your act, Mr. Lee? Do you think there is anyone in our circle who doesn't know about your deeds? You illegally took over this company, and the worst is your behavior towards the future heir of these enterprises. Jin didn't go for sugarcoating. He made himself very clear, letting the other man know that why he came here at the first place. Mr. Kim, how can you put such blame without any evidence? We also had 25% shares of the company, and as per the will of my stepbrother itself, I am holding his 50% shares as well, which make me lawfully the prominent shareholder in this company. This kid is just a responsibility of mine, which I am fulfilling out of pity. He have no right in the shares of this company. Oh, really? Do you think Mr. Kim was fool enough to not to name his wealth for his son? Don't make me bound to file a lawsuit over the legitimacy of the transfer of shares. Mr. Kim, what's your problem? You are our business partner, so act like that only. You don't want us to cancel all the agreements and projects in collaboration with you. Just dare to do that, Mr. Lee, and I will make sure you will get no deal in the whole market. You can't do that. I can do that, Mr. Lee. You know that very well. Where your company rank in total turnover in a financial year? Let me remind you, it ranks 70th in the Korea. And where our company ranks? Number 2. So you better know whom you are challenging. Just be clear, Mr. Kim. What do you want from us? I want to adopt this kid. But why? He have nothing in his name. All the wealth vests in us. I know that very well, Mr. Lee. If I want, I can make you pay for everything. You won't even have your 25% shares at the end. But I just want to have a peaceful custody of Kim Taehyung. Okay, no problem. Anyways, he's just a trouble to us. Jin nodded sarcastically, poking his cheeks, trying to control on his temper. I'm taking him away with me. Papers should be ready till tomorrow. Jin dashed outside without waiting for a reply. Meanwhile, little Taehyung was staring at Jin with his small eyes. He was not sure what was happening, where his life was taking him, but it looked better than where he is already stuck. Taehyung adjusted himself in the car timidly, feeling a bit threatened by the presence of armed guards around Jin. Jin quickly hopped inside and instructed to move to the house directly. It was already starting to get dark outside. Meanwhile, little Taehyung already fell asleep during the ride. Turn the heater on, ordered Jin when he saw that probably the kid is feeling cold. After almost 1 hour, they were already outside the Kim mansion. Hey Taehyung, get up. Jin tried to wake the kid up by shaking his body, but he was already in a deep sleep to get up, so he just carried him in arms, taking him inside. The first person who saw the new person in the house was Jungkook. He kept his remote aside, pausing the game in middle. Who is Taehyung? Youngest of the brothers, Jungkook, 18 years old, took a look at the kid in Jin's arms. He was not looking familiar to him at all. I will say, but let me place him on the couch first. Jungkook nodded and made a seat for Taehyung to lay down on the couch. Jin adjusted his clothes after laying the kid down. Jin rolled his eyes comically when Jungkook moved his hand forward. Here, Jin put a chocolate on the youngest hand, earning a wide bunny smile from him. Jungkook showed Jin 5 chocolates instead, which made Jin run after the youngest. It is not healthy to eat that much chocolates. Jin was blocking the way of Jungkook so he could not run on the other side. I finally got from you all today. I am eating them. No, just take one and leave the rest of them. Sorry Hyung. Jungkook made a face in front of Jin, but he winked only when Namjoon took all the chocolates back from his hands without letting him know. Hyung! Jungkook winked, but he only got one back. Eat that cookie. You are not allowed to eat that much sweets, okay? Jungkook nodded, showing puppy eyes, being an obedient brother he is, but only in front of Namjoon. Hyung, you know, Jin Hyung have a son. What? They had to literally shut their ears when Hoseok and Jimin yelled loudly while coming down through stairs. The hell you guys are shouting for? Yoongi yelled, dashing out of his bedroom. Jin Hyung got a nephew for us, Hyung. Hoseok chipped in happiness. Everyone was confused. Meanwhile, Jin was glaring at Jungkook, who gave an evil smirk in a return. Shut up, you all. Whom you are believing? That joker? Okay, listen. I am adopting a kid. Really? But why? There is a long story, but in a short, the kid was not happy with his caretakers, so I am just adopting him. Jungkook, who was fooling around first, got serious within a second. Where is the kid? Everyone was curious to see the new guest in the house. That way, Jin asked them to follow him to the living room. Hoseok and Jimin were the first one to see the kid. Wow! Jimin giggled and so did Hoseok. The sight was breathtaking. One of the angelic faces they have ever watched. The kid was sleeping with his eyes closed, but the peace on his face was something amusing. Soon all of them took a look on the kid. It took a minute for Namjoon to understand where he saw this kid. Taehyung, you adopted Taehyung? Asked Namjoon. You know this kid? Yes, Hyung, he is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Kim, who just passed away recently. I saw him there. Oh, everyone felt sorry for the loss of the kid. I just went in Kim Enterprises today, and you won't believe his step-uncle. They were treating him very harshly after illegally seizing all his property. Then we should file a lawsuit, Hyung, said Jungkook, and everyone agreed with him. If I could have do that, then they must have never agreed to give this kid to me. So I didn't put stress on that. I will sign the legal documents tomorrow, and Pyong will be officially the member of this family. I hope you guys will have no problem with that. We have no problem, Hyung. It is indeed a great step. Yeah, I will be uncle. Jimin bursted in happiness with his eyes being invisible due to his wide-eyed smile. Jin noticed that how Jungkook left the place without saying anything. But he stayed silent as he knew what the youngest must be thinking about. Jin asked from staff to prepare a room for the kid and then went upstairs in Jungkook's room. Cook? Jin opened the door of Jungkook's room, who was writing some notes in the notebook. Jin welcomed himself inside when Jungkook didn't say anything. Jin sat next to Jungkook, who gave a side eye to him. Don't be like that, kangaroo. Jin snatched the notebook from Jungkook and pulled him towards himself. You are not happy with the fact that I adopted a kid? Jungkook shook his head. However, Jin could see the truth clearly through his soul. Don't lie. I'm asking one more time. Why are you wasting your time here? I already said it is nothing. Go to your son. Cookie, what do you want? Should I leave him there? You didn't even tell me before, and why are you asking even me now? It is not like that, Cookie. It all happened so suddenly, or do you think I won't tell you guys first? I know you are angry, but believe me, Chaku, I swear it won't change a single thing between us. You are still my first child. There is no one who can take your place in my heart or in anyone's heart. You know it very well that how much they all love you. Jin smiled with some tears shining in his bright eyes when he saw Jungkook finally smiling. You better do that, or I will make you all bald. Jin smacked Jungkook, then hugged him while patting his head and pulling his cheeks. You are still a baby, 19 years old baby. Jin smiled, ruffling his hair. I will go and change the clothes. You two come downstairs for dinner, okay? As soon as Jin stood up from the mattress, a packet full of chips fell down. Jin glared at Jungkook, picking that up and putting on the mattress again, only to get shocked by the amount of snacks of packets under the blanket. Jungkook ran towards the bathroom and locked himself in. After ranting for good 5 minutes, Jin finally went back. At the dinner table, everyone introduced themselves to Taehyung. Taehyung, who was a bit hesitant at first, got comfortable after watching Namjoon and Jungkook. However, Jungkook didn't know Taehyung, but he remembered him as a cool Hyung. Taehyung saw Jungkook once giving free balloons to the kids. Would you like to leave with us? Asked Hoseok with a bright smile, which made Taehyung nodded with a small smile. Come on, let's eat dinner now. Taehyung was silently eating his food, stealing glances at them, trying to remember their names and face. Taehyung, eat well. Namjoon helped baby Tae to finish his food, as he was not much fond of eating food by himself. He was a social butterfly who always loved to get attention and love from everyone. After dinner, Taehyung refused to go in his room. I will not sleep alone. Taehyung refused to sleep alone stubbornly. Hyungmi! Taehyung, will you sleep in my room? Taehyung nodded silently, which made Jimin pick him up. Sorry Hyung, I am taking him today with myself. Jin nodded, ruffling their hair. If you need anything, then say to Jimin or any of us, okay? Don't feel uneasy. Okay, Jin Hyung. Taehyung repeated what everyone was saying to Jin, which made him smile. Jungkook was making a bed for himself. That's when Hoseok jumped inside, saying he will also sleep with them. Okay, Hyung. And with that, Taehyung was giggling in every some minutes whenever Hoseok or Jimin were doing something funny. Namjoon, who came to check up on Taehyung, smiled when he saw him being all giggly with the most cheery members of the house. Namjoon got hit with Jin as soon he turned around to go back. Jin uttered a small sorry, peeking inside the room. They are all good, Hyung. Namjoon laughed silently while going away. Jin too felt content and closed the room, moving to his own room. In the next morning, Yoongi was reading a newspaper while having a cup of tea. Taehyung went to him and silently sat next to Yoongi, staring at his cup. Yoongi peeked at Taehyung through the newspaper. Wanna taste this? Yoongi tried to control his laugh when baby Taehyung nodded. Yoongi forwarded the cup towards Taehyung, who threw the sip out as soon he drank that. Yoongi laughed out loud, seeing the dramatic reactions of tea. Jungkook, who was watching this from the back, laughed out loud. Hyung, you are bullying a small kid. Jungkook dramatically sat next to Taehyung, giving him his banana milk instead to let his taste bud get some change. Thank you, Cookie. Jungkook laughed at the kid, who was calling him Cookie as well, just like all his Hyungs call him. It is Hyung for you, Jungkook told to the kid, but he shook his head, calling him Cookie again. You are so cute. Jungkook picked the kid up, making him sit on his shoulders. Taehyung giggled loudly, enjoying the ride on his shoulders. Baby Taehyung came running to Namjoon, who was heading to his office, but left his watch on the table. Hyung, Namjoon smiled and kissed the cheeks of the kid, thanking him for the watch. Hyung, Namjoon, who turned around to go to the office, turned back when Taehyung called him. And this time it was very soft call. Namjoon saw Taehyung fidgeting his fingers. Namjoon looked at the time, but then kneeled in front of the kid, taking his small palms in between his hands. What happened, Taehyung? Wanna say something? Asked Namjoon, patting his cheeks. I don't wanna go back. Namjoon smiled sadly, nodded his head. Before he could say something, he got a screenshot from Jin sharing the adoption papers being signed. You are not going anywhere. It is your family now. Namjoon gave a gentle tap on Taehyung's shoulder and then left the place. At the evening, a small party was thrown, celebrating the addition in the family. Everyone was happy with the youngest member in the family. Even in a single day, he made a special place in their heart.